All right. So first off, if you're watching on Instagram, this is the real De'Von. Apparently there has been a fake account out there who has been saying hello there to people in the DMs. Please disregard that. By now, I think they actually changed their name to Aaron Johnson, AJ. So if you see Aaron Johnson, it's probably not the real Aaron Johnson who lives in Greenwood. Shout out to AJ. All right. But just wanted to let y'all know if you see De'Von Truvel underscore, that is not me. Unfollow, report. They out here trying to take my identity, y'all. But I take it as that's a sign that we are on the right track in what we are doing, in the work that we've been putting in, the frequencies we have been putting out. They are good enough to apparently be duplicated. So take it as a positive sign. But welcome to the Launch It call. Launch It with Truvel. If you are not in the Zoom and you want to be in the Zoom, you can go to www.launchitcommunity.com and you can register for this free accountability call. The accountability call does come with the Launch It book. So if you are currently an entrepreneur or aspiring entrepreneur and you want to start your business and you are just looking for a little bit of guidance, a little bit of framework, a strong foundation, and specific steps to launch your business, go to www.launchitcommunity.com and go ahead and grab yourself a book, and we'll see you in the Friday accountability calls. All right. Today, hold on. Let's see. No more fake accounts. One only. Yes. No more fake accounts. This is the real account, right? Yeah. I'm just, oh goodness. So much energy has gone into replying to DMs and making sure people know I'm not selling them stuff. All right, core commitments for today in the Launch It call. One, we commit to holding you accountable, right? So if you say your goals, you say your mission, you want to start so-and-so business, we want to actually help you do that. Number two, we commit to critiquing the idea, the habits, the thought process, everything except you as an individual, as a person. We love you. We love you. We appreciate you. And if you're tapping in on Instagram, yes, this is the real De'Von Truvel. I'm here in the flesh. You can't fake lives, right? And then number three, we commit to our own continual learning. So if you have books, if you have resources, if you have tips and tricks on how I can not be copied on Instagram, share all of those. All right. Going into it, we'll get into introductions, but the topic that folks requested last week was, how do you sell without selling, right? Or how do you get more comfortable in selling? That was the question of the week or the thought process of the week. So we're going to dive into that. But before we do, let's go ahead and do some introductions, name, city, and what is one thing that you accomplished this week for your business.
Hello, I am Sinclair Walker, calling from Moreno Valley, California, repping Play Black Wall Street.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I accomplished this week is solidifying the schools and the mentors that are going to be participating in this season of the LIT program.
There we go. LIT, and LIT stands for what?
Leaders Innovating Tomorrow, our
Yes.
after school entrepreneurship, financial literacy focused. Well, I guess it's not after school anymore because we in school now. The school
Yep.
financial literacy program.
Love it. And then of course, my name is De'Von Truvel, Play Black Wall Street, also repping Moreno Valley. What is one thing that I accomplished this week? I sent an intro video to a Boys and Girls Club board member. And what they're doing is they're doing like a mentorship program, very similar to LIT. But they're piloting a mentorship program. So they're looking for mentors that can come in and talk to their students. So I did a intro video to be considered for that. We also just got back from Atlanta, where we did a lot of really good just promotion for the board game and for our podcast. a lot of good networking and masterminding out there in Atlanta. And then got to meet, a pretty good networking piece as well to see how we can get more of our content into hands that can really amplify the message. I'll say that. Right. But yeah, it's been a really solid month for Play Black Wall Street. With back to school season, we are rolling. We are getting to it. Now, selling without selling, and then we'll get into some key takeaways. But first, I wanted to kind of ask, what makes you uncomfortable about selling? Right. And me too. Like I'm not a 100% master at selling yet, right? But thinking about yourself and whether you've worked at Cutco, you worked at McDonald's, you worked at In and Out, whatever jobs that you have, Gucci, you work for We Buy Black. Were you as uncomfortable selling at those institutions as you are selling your own materials? All right. So the first level, what makes you uncomfortable about selling? And then second level, when you think about your own professional history, were you always uncomfortable selling other people's items, or are you only recently uncomfortable selling yourself? And I will open that up to you, Sinclair, since you're on here. Do you have any thoughts or insight of what makes you uncomfortable selling?
I never really thought about it that way, but now that you put it that way, I think some of the uncomfortability comes with the fact that you're selling something that you created, so naturally you have an emotional attachment to it.
Mm,
Um, yeah, because I've, at previous companies before, like people ask me like, what do I do? I talk about the product and kind of almost start selling it, but I mean, I always at the end would kind of put that like, but it's not like it's my product. It's like I still get paid by the company. Like I'm not really tripping. So
mm.
after I did a whole spiel, um, and I think that's what made me comfortable even talking about the product because it's like whether you buy it or not, I really don't care.
Yeah.
Whereas obviously, if it's our own product, I'm trying to still detach myself emotionally so that whatever the decision is, I'm not attached to it. But that's hard to do when it's something you've put your blood, sweat, and tears into.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I feel like that's what makes it slightly awkward, I think, on both sides is that I know that if if you say yes, then great. If you say no, then like I created this, so you may feel uncomfortable saying no, and that makes me uncomfortable even asking. Like
Mm.
it's a whole cycle.
Yeah. So I think the the I don't want to say issue, that's a very strong word, but I feel like the barrier of mindset, there we go. I'm gonna go with that. The barrier of mindset as an entrepreneur is sometimes we directly connect our own personal value to the product. So if we present this product, right, I put my blood, sweat, and tears into Black Wall Street, the board game, and I tell this person about Black Wall Street, the board game, they're like, I'll pass. I take that as a personal rejection, right? Whereas if I work at McDonald's, right, and I'm selling somebody a Big Mac and they say no to a Big Mac, I'm like, you know what? That's fine, right? That's not me. I'm not Ronald himself. I'm not back there making the sandwiches. So if you say no to a Big Mac, but you want some chicken nuggets instead, that's perfectly fine, right? So we don't have that direct emotional connection. And what we need to practice as entrepreneurs is one, it's okay for there to be people out there in the world that don't connect with our product. That's okay. There's 7 billion people out there. You literally can't have a product. I can't sell a board game to everybody. So there needs to be people that say no so that I have enough board games for the people who really want to say yes. Right. And even to your point, Sinclair, when you were talking about, maybe they'll say yes because they feel uncomfortable and they just want to say yes to me. You don't want that person to say yes because then they're going to get the game. They're never going to open it. They're never going to play it. They're not going to tell anybody about it. So now that's just a product that's sitting there when you could have gave it to someone else. right? Like a Grandy who would put it on the shelf, who would call people, who would post multiple times on Facebook, who would tell everybody that they have a game and would create more sales for you. So what we have to understand as entrepreneurs is the no's are a better pathway to the people who want to say absolutely yes. And the absolutely yes is way better than a sure, I'll take it because you're my friend and I know you. All right. So hopefully we can get a little bit more comfortable in selling when we detach our own personal value and our own personal being, detach that from your idea, from your product. Beautiful. Thank you. She said, I like that reframing. Yes. So if they say no, it's like, ooh, perfect. I'm glad you said no, because now I have the opportunity to give this product, to give this service to someone else who really wants it and appreciates it and will be able to amplify the message, right? Because even if you're coaching, you only have so many hours. So you don't want someone to say yes to your health coaching, your business coaching, and then they get in there and they're only like kind of listening. They're only like kind of taking advantage of the products or the services. They're not getting the results that they could be getting if they were really invested 100%. And now they're not telling people about their results. They're not getting the results and they're draining your energy because each time you come there, they're not making progress, right? So you want the people who are like, yes, absolutely. I want health coaching. I am ready. I'm going to be advocate. I'm going to be on Instagram telling people about you. I'm going to be at the hikes every week when you go and all that stuff, because that's going to also give you energy and show the results. So the no's lead to the absolute yeses. Okay. So I want you to think about when you're framing your product or your service, what value does your product or service bring? And do you believe in it? All right. We talked about this a few weeks ago, but really, really think about, okay, we have the Leaders Innovating Tomorrow program. We have the Play Black Wall Street Academy. We have health coaching. We have the podcast, whatever your product is. What is the value, the outcome, the promise that this product can deliver to your audience or to your customers? And again, do you believe in it? Because when you believe in the product, when you believe in the value that it gives, you are no longer selling, you are informing. All right. We have this Leaders Innovating Tomorrow program. It's an 8-week long program. And what we do is we teach high school students how to identify and solve a problem through entrepreneurship. And at the end of the 8 weeks, they're able to create their own presentations and have their own business concepts that they can then go out into the real world and create. We give that pitch, right? We give that pitch to principals, we give that pitch to teachers. And usually the people that we're able to pitch to, they're like, oh, I love this. What problem solving, project-based learning. They get to learn about business and they're able to identify problems within their own community. Sign me up. Right. So what is the value? And when you're presenting that value, do you truly believe in the value that it provides? Now I'm gonna tell you a little bit of a story. Okay. So I'm gonna tell you the story of Tom the Turtle. It's gonna sound a little childish, but there's some lessons in it for you. Okay. So Tom the Turtle is a innovative, brilliant, genius entrepreneur who lives in the Pacific Ocean. All right. And one day he had a brilliant idea of, you know what, I'm going to sell water. I think it's a need in the community, and I feel like I want to sell water to my community. So he goes around, he's swimming in the ocean. He comes up to a school of marlin fish, and he's like, "Hey, marlins, how you doing? Do you need some water today?" And the fish is like, "No, silly, we're in water. We don't need any water." They swim away. He's like, "Oh, okay, okay." He swims up to a big whale, William the whale. He's like, "Hey, William, need any water today?" William's like, "Tom, that is a terrible idea. We have all the water we can ever need. I would never buy water from you. Stop." And he swims away. Tom the turtle then walks or swims up to Sammy the shark. Doodum, 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 doodum. Hey, Sammy. Sorry to bother you, but do you need any water today? This is really good. It'll quench your thirst. You'll never be thirsty again if you drink this water. And Sammy's like, no, Tom, get away before I bite your head off. I don't need water. I need food. Swims away. Then one day, Tom the Turtle, kind of frustrated, he visits the beach. He walks up onto the beach, gets some nice sun, and laying right there on the beach is Marlin the fish getting a tan. Marlin looks at Tom and says, hey, Tom, you got any water? So what's the lessons there? All right, what are the lessons from Tom the Turtle? Number one, the lesson is to be consistent. All right, it wasn't about Tom the Turtle selling a whole bunch of different stuff to his customers. It was about I sell water. The ocean knows me as the water guy. So when one of the marlin fish or when any fish is finally out of the ocean and they're in need of water, they know, Tom the Turtle, he always has water. I can hit him up. Right. Number two, believe in yourself. It may seem like it is a bad idea at the time, right? Whether it's a board game, whether it's health coaching, whether it's a coffee company, maybe it seems like a bad idea at the time, or because of the environment you're in, there's an abundance of competition in your certain environment. But if you believe in yourself, one day you will be in an environment where where it is possible and perfect for the value that you have. And then last but not least, find your fish out of water. Right? How can you find a community that is missing what they need? Right? So as a fish, you need certain things. As a person, you need certain things. As a Black woman, you may need certain things. As a Black man, as a homeschooling family, you may need certain things. And when you remove yourself from a environment that you're used to and you move, or your children grow up and they're in high school now, so they have different needs, they may feel like a fish out of water. And that's where your value, that's where your product can come in, right? Like, oh, you're looking for more community and Black history knowledge. Boom, here's De'Von Truvel, a speaker who can come in and talk to your African American students who may be the minority at your school. So how can we make them feel more comfortable? Let's go ahead and bring in a powerful speaker, right? I see something in the chat. Let me take a pause really quickly. Also, because someone says no now doesn't mean it's a no forever, right? So Marlin the fish, right? When Marlin was in the ocean, Marlin was good. It was a no. I don't need that water right now. I have water everywhere. But Marlin saw himself in a very precarious situation where he is now out of the ocean for whatever reason, and now he needs water desperately. And it could be the same thing with your customer, right? Maybe they're young, they're in their 20s, they have no kids, so they don't need a health coach right now, right? They're fine. Health isn't a worry. But maybe they have their first kid, they have their second kid, and now they're working their job, they have their two kids, they're a little bit stressed out. They may have, lost their 20-year-old or 18-year-old situation. And now they're like, you know what? I think I do need a little bit of help. All right. So as long as you're consistent in what you're providing, value wise, service wise, eventually more and more customers will find you based on your consistency, right? There's been a lot of people that we've gotten board game sales from, we've gotten speaking engagements from, simply because I've been talking about Black Wall Street for the past 5 years. Right? So I'll get a whole bunch of DMs like, hey, you still do Black Wall Street? You still speak? It's like, yeah, I do. Oh, great. Well, can you come out? Woo, 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 woo. Right. So that consistency is beautiful. Great point, Sinclair. Okay. Let's keep it going. No, we're not gonna keep it going. There we go. So we talked about this 2 weeks ago. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. You can go back to that recording, but there's 7 different types of sales. It's important for you to know these 7 different types so that you can build out a product or service model that offers these different things. One, you want a core product. You want the ability to upsell. You want a complementary service or product. You want a subscription or continuity product where every single month, every single week, every single year, people can service or pay for your service. You want similar products. You want more of the same, which is just like buying in bulk. And then you want your premium offer, your Fiji water, your what's above Fiji water, Sinclair? Uh, Voss water.
I don't know.
Right. You want your premium offer.
Gold one.
So you said gold water.
Yep.
Here we go. Gold water. Shout out to 19 Keys. But you want to have, maybe not seven, but I would say you probably want a solid three, right? You want a solid three. You want your core offer, you want a upsell or a premium offer that you can provide people, and then maybe you want a downsell, something they can just start off with, or maybe a free sample of the water of your product. Now, key takeaways for today. Number one, I want you to today or this week, I know sometimes I'll be having y'all take action real quick. Today or this week, go ahead and write down what values align with your product. And by values, I mean for, Black Wall Street, the board game, a value is Black excellence, Black history, financial literacy, community, education. These are values that align with our brand and with our product. Number two is, or second part of number one is what value your products provide, right? So again, for Black Wall Street, the board game, the value is in teaching Black history. The value is in learning the history of Tulsa Black Wall Street through gaming. The value is in bringing the family together over a board game. Those are some of the values that we provide. Number two is get in front of the people who share those values. So, not disrespectful to any community, but sometimes when we're tabling, there'll be, non-Black folks that come up to the table, and I'll give them the pitch, right? I'm up there telling them like, oh, do you know about Tulsa Black Wall Street? It's a community in 1898 from 1921 who was building in Black Wall Street. It was all Black town. They had Simon Barry, they had O.W. Gurley, Madam C.J. Walker, and then it got burnt down and destroyed, but they rebuilt it. I'm going in. But because they don't connect value-wise to Black history, they usually be like, okay, thank you, and then they'll walk away, right? And that's okay. I don't chase after them. I don't try to convince them, but wait, it's one of the most successful Black Wall Streets ever in history. You need this game. It's like, no, the value didn't connect, right? But a homeschooling Black family will come up. And don't have them be from the South. If they're from the South, ooh, it's over. I don't even have to get through half the pitch, right? As soon as I say Black Wall Street is based on history, they're like, okay, can I buy it? Right? Because their value directly connects. So how can you get in front of more people whose values connect with the values of your product so that you don't have to sell them? You just literally have to show them how you align with who they are, and they'll want to buy the product because it aligns with who they are. Sinclair said facts. Yeah, that's just facts, right? And it's again, no disrespect to any community, but it just seems like we have to say less to Black homeschooling families or Black families or families that know about the history of Tulsa Black Wall Street. We just have to say a little bit less to get them to purchase the game than non-Black families who don't know about Tulsa's Black Wall Street. Second part of number two is people who need the value that you provide, right? You want to get in front of people who have the same values as your product, or flip side, they need that value, right? So again, the homeschooling family, they need activities that they can do with their kids that teach their kids things. It's a value for them. It's something that they need. It's a problem that they need solved. So this fun interactive game that teaches Black history and finances to them is a no-brainer, right? So how can you get in front of conferences, workshops, webinars, Instagram ads, Facebook ads, YouTube ads? How can you put yourself and your product in front of people who share your values or who need your value. And then number three, we talked about this already. Very important as an entrepreneur for you to remember, to understand that you and your product are not for everyone. And as a people person, this has been, one of my hardest things, right? Because I want everyone to like me. I want everyone to like my product, but I have to understand Black Wall Street, the board game, and De'Von Truvel, right? What I believe in, my values, my frequency is not for everybody in this world, and that's okay. As an entrepreneur, forgot where this came from. I've read it in a few different articles, but as an entrepreneur, you really only need 1,000 true fans. You need 1,000 loyal customers who will buy your products and services on a consistent basis. Again, there's 7 billion people in the world. There's about 30 million African Americans in the United States. So 1,000 people isn't a lot of people. So when you're focusing on your product, when you're focusing on your marketing, when you're focusing on building your business up from the ground, I would encourage you, instead of trying to get all the customers in the world, base your strategy around getting 1,000 happy, loyal, amazing customers that will share your message. And once you get those 1,000, if you can grow it to 2,000, grow it to 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 10,000, right? But that foundation, that first goal should be not everyone in the world. I don't need everybody to listen to my podcast. I don't need everyone to buy a t-shirt. I don't need everybody to buy a board game. I just need 1,000 people. And then you're off to a good start. Mm. So that's what I got for today. Appreciate y'all. We are talking about, once again, hope y'all like Tom the Turtle story. I enjoyed it. I saw it as a little animation. I may animate that actually. But selling without selling, and then we have our key takeaways. Let's go ahead and end it as we usually do with our mission of the day. What is one thing you're going to do today to take your business one step further? And then what is your mission of the week? What is maybe a slightly bigger task that you can accomplish throughout the week to push your business to the next level? Queen, are you ready?
Yes. Um, One thing I am going to do today is follow up with everyone who has filled out our school and educational partners form. I've sent them all initial emails, but I will send them all a follow-up email today, just reminding them, hey, I'm here.
Uh-huh.
Got the services you're looking for. um, so yeah, I will do that. And then my mission of the week is going to be to email 5 more potential school educational partners.
Nice, nice. Oh yeah, we emailed Kip already, right?
I emailed maybe 2 or 3 people from KIP, so I got to find a couple more.
Nice, nice. Looking good. Appreciate you.
Of course.
My mission of the day. I got a whole whiteboard with stuff written on it. I want to get some dates solidified for maybe not solidified. I'm going to brainstorm dates for our ambassadors. And this is Play Black Wall Street ambassadors. I already have at least one person in mind that we would like to hire and onboard. So I need to work with the queen and have her approve my proposal, because sometimes I'm a little too generous with the funds and what I want to do. So let me go ahead and send that to the queen to approve before we send it out to people. And then want to add some dates on there for our monthly ambassador meetings. And this is really just to be a little bit more student focused on what we do with Play Black Wall Street, and allow for some high school students to be on this side of the leadership and of the vision, so that we can make sure that Play Black Wall Street is in alignment with what the high schoolers need and what they want. And also it will be used as some marketing materials, so that we can have some high school students play the game, give some advice, some feedback about the game, make content regarding the game, just so it's less me and less the queen and a little bit more of the community. So that's gonna be my mission of the day, is to get that document to Sinclair and some potential dates. Mission of the week. Ooh. So I go to Ghana next week. So I really need a pack. Oh, Sinclair. I really need to pack. So I feel like that's probably my mission of the week, is to get packed up and ready to go for Ghana, to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. And to also set up my Asana tasks to make sure that the team can still be productive and efficient while I am in Ghana. Okay? So appreciate y'all. If y'all are watching, make sure you also either comment, write down what is your mission of the day, what is your mission of the week, one thing that you can do to take your business to the next level. And then, of course, we have our key takeaways. Once again, I'll put them on the screen as a reminder for you all. But the key takeaways, make sure you write down the values that align with your business. And if you haven't done your core ideology for your brand or for your business, happy to do another webinar, another class on how you identify your core ideology, but that's basically what that would be. Number two, we've talked about this already, but how can you get in front of more people that share your values? We're going to be going to the All Black National Convention, hosted by the B1 team and Boyce Watkins in Charlotte, North Carolina. And that is literally a group of Black people, Black families who want to build wealth for their communities. Right. So when we think about our ideal customer, that is it. So we're going to be there. We're going to have our games, we're going to have our shirts, we're going to have our books, we'll be teaching classes. So how can you get in front of the people who share your values? And then lastly, please, 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 please understand that you and your product are not for everyone. That doesn't make your product less valuable. That doesn't make you less valuable. It's just understanding that there is going to be a group of people who are going to gravitate towards you with so much strength and so much love that you're going to only want to serve those people anyway. Right. And every single no that you get is only leading you to the absolute yes. Right. All right. Appreciate y'all for tapping in this week for the Launch a Community Call. Again, if you are watching this, make sure you go to www.launchitcommunity in order to get the recordings. And if you don't have the book, make sure you also grab that book that goes through the 7 steps to efficiently, smoothly, without mistakes, or with minimizing the mistakes that at least I've made with my experience in launching your business. Okay. Appreciate y'all. Stay healthy. Catch you next week.